So here we are back at the Vivaro clinic. So today we're going to be fitting this bad boy. This is a voltmeter. We've got a few problems with the battery. I think the battery's gone, but I think as we're getting into winter, it's always good to get a bit of a reading on how your battery's performing. Again, just to let you know, I'm not an electrician or a car mechanic. I just like tinkering around with vans. So if I do put anything on this channel and you decide to take the advice or do something similar on your vehicles, again, just bear in mind that I'm not a mechanic. So here we are back at the Vivaro clinic. So today we're going to be fitting this bad boy. This is a voltmeter. We've got a few problems with the battery. I think the battery's gone, but I think as we're getting into winter, it's always good to get a bit of a reading on how your battery's performing. Again, just to let you know, I'm not an electrician or a car mechanic. I just like tinkering around with vans. So if I do put anything on this channel and you decide to take the advice or do something similar on your vehicles, again, just bear in mind that I'm not a mechanic. So there's a battery. It looks a bit old. It looks probably, I wouldn't say it's, it might be original equipment with the vehicle. The vehicle's a few years old now. So what we need to do, we need to hook the voltmeter up to the battery and onto the dash. Now each Vivaro, 2008 my van is. So this is a hook. It's the coat hanger, which is on the dash. So this should actually fit into there quite nicely, as you'll see. So there won't be no drilling or mounting, anything like that. So I've been told that some of the Vivaros actually have after sales conversions anyway. So there might already be a wiring loom behind there, so I can just fit into, but we'll have a look, eh? So to ensure safety, I think it's important to point out that you don't actually wire directly into your battery, into the positive and negative terminals with wires. It could be an outsurge and could cause fire. So to prevent this, you do need to invest in a fuse. This is a basic fuse, a couple of quid on Amazon. So your fuse goes in there. I'm probably going to put a 5 or 10 amp fuse in. So if there is an overload, the fuse will go rather than any impact on the wire and any potential of fire. So again, I'll say I'm not a mechanic or an electrician. I just like tinkering. If you are in doubt, you need to get professional advice on this. So what we're going to do, we're going to put the voltmeter there. As you'll see here, the mats are in place. The mats lift up easy, so I'm going to try and route the wire under the mat, up through here and up through the back of the through here and up through the back of the mechanism. There's a couple of bolts there, so I might take this off and see if I can get my hand in there, just to get the wiring and the backing of the voltmeter. Okay, to get this off, all we need to do is really get the screwdriver in there. It's a click mechanism, so we just hook that out, and we just try and pull that out. Try not to damage your dash. If you don't want to get it, just scuff it there, but if you don't want to get it, you can put a bit of masking tape around there, just so you don't damage any of your dash. As I say, it's just hooking this out. So I'm going to turn the camera off because it's difficult to do one hand. So that was easy enough. 2-minute job. You'll see the hole there. Can't really see behind that, but it doesn't look like there's any wires there, so I just have to put the 2 wires in. Now this is quite interesting because that's a perfect fit there. So there was a backing on this, which actually is supposed to screw into the back, but I think with this thread on here, I should be able to thread that in to the hole, or at least clip it in. There ain't too much problems, so it's sort of holding in place there. So it's a bit of a bonus really, by getting this size of voltmeter. So I think all I need to do now is sort the wiring out, get the wires in, feed them through. I think I can feed the wires straight through there, through the back, under the matting, as I said, and then on here you've got your lid, you want to call it a lid, but you'll see here there's a little lip there, so the wires will feed quite nicely into that. So when I put the matting back on, you won't actually see the wires, which will be good as well. I think what you don't want to be drilling the chassis at any point. There's no other obvious holes I can see where I can feed the wires through, so I'm just going to make it easy for myself. So again, good old Amazon. I've managed to get some core twin red and black copper wire. It's automotive, 12 volt, 24 volt, 25 amp max. So I think the fuse I am going to be putting in this bit of kit is a 10 amp. Probably get away with 5 amp if I'm honest, but I'm going to put a 10 amp in. That's well below the 25 amp max on the wiring, but that should be good. So this bit of kit comes just with 2 connectors on the back. Again, my trusty old friend Amazon. You'll be able to find these quite cheap. I'm sure I've got a model number on there. That's the model number if anybody's interested. So it will fit directly into your coat hanger on your dashboard. When putting the connectors on, you'll see a positive and negative at the back of the voltmeter. Just make sure that red goes to positive and black goes to negative. Pretty basic stuff, but just thought I'd put it out there anyway. So after crimping the blue connectors, yeah, I'm using pretty rudimentary tools. You can get better tools from Halfords and places like that. It's doing a job for me at the moment. So you crimp up your wire to your voltmeter. Again, red to positive, black to negative, and then I'm just going to feed that wire through now through the hole. It'll come out the bottom somewhere, and I'll feed it under the carpet or the flooring, and then look to connect it into the batteries. What you'll see here is this is a camper van conversion, so you'll already see how it will look. If you look at the small red wire there, this is actually going to my sort of leisure battery voltmeter, so it's very similar in nature to what I'm going to do here. So I'll have a voltmeter for this battery, and I'll say that feed there, you'll see the fuse wire there, or the fuse holder, that actually goes through to my voltmeter for my leisure battery. So very much the same. So that's what it should look like. Also, yeah, there's another little panel. We've got some sort of holders in there, so it's quite easy to get out. So these holders, they just push pull, so you can just put a bit of pressure on and they'll come out. But this is quite good because I can hide the wires even more. So you can pull that panel back, you'll see the wire through here, you know, so quite an easy feed. And that will actually feed into the fuse holder I'm about to put in place. So I'm just going to feed that now under the carpet. So basic stuff really. Wire goes in there. You'll see the feed. We won't be able to see the feed. The feed comes out there. It's gone under the flooring of the carpet. Call it whatever you want. And there's the end of the wire there. So when I've sort of cut this wire up to size, I'll show you probably the best thing to do before you do connect it in. And as I thought, the voltmeter just goes straight into place. So the thread, I didn't screw it in because you can't turn it. You can turn it because of the wires. But I think I'll just palm hit it in. Don't hit it with a hammer or any sort of heavy thing. Just use a palm of your hand. Otherwise the voltmeter could crack. Now it's in place, I can take the plastic protector off. And you'll see we've got a brand new voltmeter in the car or in the van. It's also a good idea not to pull this wire too tight. Give it a bit of slack. So what you don't want to do is be pulling the connectors out the back of the voltmeter. Okay, so you'll see I've split the wires. This wire's going to go over here into the black terminal, which is the negative terminal. This wire, these are quite handy, these little crimpers, little connectors, so you don't have to cut. You can just put them over the wires and clamp the metal blade in the middle, and that gives you a good solid connection. So this is where the fuse is going to go. So that's hooked into the battery now. So again, if the wires do overheat or there's a surge from the battery, the break point is there, so the fuse will go rather than causing electrical problems, potentially fires in the van. That's the theory anyway. So I'm going to connect the black wiring to into the terminal here, very similar to what I've done with this wire, and then we'll test it. Okay, so the wires are in. So we have positive there with the fuse. I say there's a 10 amp fuse in there, and we've got the negative terminal, black lead into the negative terminal of the battery. So you can see here now the voltmeter is working. It's giving me a reading of 8.2 volts. No, so it's the battery's very flat. I haven't used the vehicle for a number of months, so this is just a good way of me actually being able to monitor the charge. I've got a booster, so I'm going to put the booster on the battery now just to start the vehicle, and then we'll see what that goes up to. I think running, I don't know, look online, people are saying between 14 volts I think, but your battery should be sort of storing at about 12 volts I believe. So again, just have a look online, do your research, and make sure you're happy with what you're doing. Again, I would say I'm not an electrician and I'm not a car mechanic. I just like tinkering with cars. If you have any doubts whatsoever, particularly playing around with electrical wires, etc., do seek professional help. So see, I've got a booster just to charge the battery. With the booster on, that battery's gone to 15 volts, which should give me enough to start the engine. Let's just try that. There you go. So the battery's gone down to 13, 14 volts. So now I can just monitor the battery just to see what if it's charging. So I'll leave the vehicle running for a little while just to see what happens there. If there is more charge in the battery than there wasn't there before, then clearly we're having the battery's having an episode. So what we've got here is an on-off button, which is good. So I think we can look there. So while the vehicle's running, it's charging 100%. The battery's settling at 13.9 volts, and I think if you hold that down, it'll actually turn the voltmeter off. So we'll just see how it runs, and I'll come back to the other one. So you see, so I've got a bit of a booster on there just to start the car or the van. Battery's now gone up to 11, 12, so I'll start that and it'll go up to probably 14 again.